All right, what's up, guys? Chokosura here, and we're back with another Secret of Mana Randomizer Seed of the Week. This is number 242, and for this week, we have another Vanilla Long Seed for this week. All right, so we have 10 flags for this weekly seed. Let's go ahead and see what we're dealing with here. Starting off, we have Restrictive Logic, we have Hard Complexity. Basically, so the randomizer may attempt to put our progression items in more obscure locations or behind chains or harder to reach locations. So we will have to keep that in mind as we play through the seed. We also have allow locked items turned on for this seed. So this basically means that not everything will be able to be collected. Some things could be inaccessible. Um, And by some things, I mean anything could be inaccessible, including characters, mana seeds, elemental spirits, weapons, miscellaneous items like the Moogle Belt, Midge Mallet, stuff like that. So any of those are eligible to be locked out of the seed. We also have vanilla shops. It is what it says. All the shops are vanilla, so we know what is being sold in what shop. We also have vanilla enemies. Again, it is what it says. All of the enemies will be in their vanilla locations. This does not include bosses though. The bosses are going to be randomized, but the regular enemies that we see out in the field are going to be in their vanilla spots. Find one character at level 1. Basically, this means this is a 2-character seed. Not all 3 characters will able to be available. We are going to be starting off with the boy since it is there's no specified character start, so that means we start off with the boy. The other character is going to be either the girl or the sprite. We also have randomized character roles. So the boy, the girl, the sprite, their roles could be randomized amongst each other. There's only 2 characters though, so this means it could boy sprite role, boy girl role, girl sprite role. We'll see. No unique, so that means we could be dealing with duplicates. There is a possibility that we'll have duplicate roles. Could be double boy, could be double girl, could be double sprite. We'll see what happens. Gold drop multiplier is set to 200. Now this flag is a bit weird because I don't know if it's a bug, but it's been in place for a while now. But the chest drops from the enemies, if they drop gold, they will be dropping in increments of 255 per level. So this basically means that money is not going to be too much of an issue this seed. I mean, you can choose to farm money if you want to, but money won't be scarce. That's what I'm saying. By the time we hit, say, level 4, level 5, these chests will be dropping like 1,000 gold per. Speed up improvements are disabled. This basically nerfs the girls no magic, so we cannot use quick charge, we cannot use auto run. None of that is going to be available, so we will not have access to that, assuming we have someone with girl magic. Last but not least, we have random status ailments set to annoying. Alright, so those are the flags for this weekly seed. Not too terrible, however, hard complexity can be mean, allow locked items can be mean, so we'll see what happens with those. But other than that, it is a 2-character seed, and we're dealing with randomized roles, so we will have to play the seed accordingly. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, boys start. 3, 2, 1, go. Best way to tell each character's role is to look at their starting HP. And we can see that once we get down to the sword pedestal. All right. Okay, bow start. 45 HP. That means the boy is the girl. All right, crit agility stone on the bow. All right, so the boy will have access to Primm's magic this run. So he'll get stuff like Cure Water, Defender, Analyzer, stuff like that. Okay, there's an Axe Orb. Not needed, Undini. Okay, so Undini not needed for Grand Palace. I'm actually just gonna go straight down here. I'm not gonna checkmate the Saint right now. I don't have armor right now since I'm the girl, technically. I'm gonna try and grab 3 of these chests if I can. Okay. So that should be enough for a full set of armor from Kaipo. Okay, Light Seed is nowhere. That means the Light Seed is locked out of the seed. Alright, Water Seed on a ped. Good to know. Moogle Belt in the chest. Javelin and Potos. Okay. Not too much so far. Just trying to make a little bit of extra money right now, if I can. Alright, nothing there. Cure that guy. Salamando at Northtown Ruins. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and flame me out. And we're gonna go to Kaipo. Reason I'm going to Kaipo is twofold. One, I can get a full set of armor right here. And 2, we can check out the hint outside. And since we have the girl's role, that means we can only wear girl armor. I can do better than that, actually. I could do better. We have enough for like a quill cap. Even a raccoon cap, actually. So I'm gonna save my money for that. I'm gonna see if I can get some money off these guys real quick. Okay, total elements needed is 3. Ooh, okay, so that potentially means that this could be a spriteless seed. If that's the case, then we only need to look for Salamando, Sylphid, and Lumina. This also tells us that the other character is either going to be a clone of the girl or it's going to have the boy's role. Okay, Axe Orb and Bow Orb. I'm actually going to force this right now. I have the money for it. Okay, short bow is ain't slow. Okay. Yeah, so that Kaipo hint actually told us a lot. Alright, with that said, I'm gonna drop down here to Matango real quick. We'll pick up a Wolf's Band, and I can go actually Quill Cap. I was gonna go Tiara, but never mind. We'll go with this for now. Alright, Jav Orb. All right, so we know Salamander's in Northtown Ruins somewhere. And we know that only 3 elementals are required. I want to check the element here for this orb. Now, there is a world where it's not a spriteless seed. And we need 3 elementals. It could be like Gnome, Shade, and Luna or something. There is a world where that can happen. I'm not willing to bet on it though. We can get this to level 2, I guess. Damn. Lumina. Okay, yeah. That confirms it right there. So it is going to be a spriteless seed. That just confirmed it. Okay, let's go to Tastica. Well, no. No, there is still a world where the other character is the sprite, or the other character has sprite magic. And the 3 elementals could be Lumina, could be like Shade, or like Dryad or something. There is a world that can happen. I'm not willing to bet on it though. So I'm gonna assume that it's Salamander, Sylphid, and Lumina as the 3 elementals required. Alright, let's see what we can learn here. Alright, nothing there. Not needed on Dini, we already know that. Nothing there. Wow, nothing there either. Sylphid in a town, okay. Not needed Gnome. And nothing. Okay, so Sylphid's in a town, Gnome's not required. Yeah, I'm thinking this is spriteless. This has to be spriteless. Or sprite magicless, I should say. The other character could be the sprite for all we know, but the other role is either the boy or the girl. Alright, so we know Sylphid's in a town, so it could be Pandora, could be Dwarf Village, could be Mantisant, could be Salamander Oven, could be on Mara. Ah, freaking traps. Alright, nothing there. Looking at chest. Okay. There's our other character. Alright, so we know the other character is the sprite. That hint blatantly told us who the other character is. Alright, so the other character is the sprite, but we don't know what role he is. The sprite's either going to be the boy, or it's going to be a clone of the girl. And we already have the boy with the girl's role here, so it could be a double girl role, or it could be a girl and boy. Because I'm almost positive that the sprite magic's not in the seed at all, based on the hints we've gotten so far. Alright, so we go from here to Mara. Alright, so right now we are looking for Sylphid. Sylphid's in a town. Not there. Salamander's in Northtown Ruins. Here's hoping that he's not behind one of the two bosses there. If he is, I'm going to be pretty sad. Okay, Mech 3 is nothing but a weapon orb. Yeah, we can take this, sure. I could do a little bit of farming here. I could. Okay, there's the boomerang. There's a bow orb. Let me check this boomerang real quick. Agility Dryad. Yeah, sure. Alright, so the reason why I'm doing a tiny bit of farming is because, one, we know that that Sprite Magic's not in the seed, which in turn means there's no shade. Two, if the Sprite ends up as the boy or the girl, which is going to be one of the two, we're going to need to forge weapons this seed. Because there's no way that I'm going to be relying on, Fire Bouquet or Lucent Beam to kill Mana Beast. There's just no way. So we want to make sure we forge our weapons to a point where we can actually do damage to the thing. And another reason is we want to have enough defense so we don't get absolutely shredded by the Mana Beast. Okay, another bow orb, jeez. Like, we don't want to go into the Mana Beast with, base armor or nothing like that. And we're going to need some cash for that. Okay, there's Salamander. We do want to check the back chest because it could be the Sprite back there. We know the Sprite's in the chest. So we kind of have to check this. Okay, so we do have Salamando. We know Sophia's in a town. We don't know where Lumina is, though. We also, at some point, need to find either the sword or the axe. And the whip, too, for that matter. So we can actually complete the seed. Right? Nope. That's a sea hare tail, though. Sure, we'll take it. Alright, so Sprite's not there. What other chests are that? There's Ice Palace chest. There's also the chest in Fire Palace, too, so... it is possible that the Sprite is locked behind Lumina. And keep in mind, the boy here does have girl magic. So we can get into Fire Palace once we find Lumina anyway. Okay, Giants in a volcano. We don't really care about that, honestly. Another bow orb. Jeez, that's 4 bow orbs. So I'm going to have to forge those, I think. I already forged it once. So my bow is actually level 2. Ooh, okay, moon seed is nice. Okay, so we can check. We can actually turn in the moon seed now. Yeah, let's do it. We can turn in the moon seed. We have Salamander, so might as well. We have to see here a tail as well, so we can turn that in while we're in the Kokara area. Make sure I don't get magic drained here. Alright, what do we got? Okay, the spear and... Wow, okay, Lumina's actually here. That's pretty huge because now we can check Fire Palace. Or we can check the first chest at least. If the second orb in Fire Palace is Silphid, then we can't do anything. Alright, before we do that though, I do have to sleep so I can get my MP back. Let's turn in the Sea Hare Tail real fast though. Okay, that is a Jav Orb. Okay. I want to sleep. Because otherwise, if I don't, then I'm going to have to kill things. Okay, we're sitting on 3,000 gold. Sprite could have been behind that too, because Sea Hare Tail is considered in a town. So chances are the Sprite is sitting at like Pandora Treasury or like Dwarf Village or something. Or Silphid rather, not the Sprite. We know the Sprite's in a chest. Okay, so we know this is Lumina. Alright, so now we gotta figure out what this next one is. Okay, there's that. Just... Nope. If this next orb is Silphid, we can't do anything. Salamander. Okay, we're good. I'm glad to collect any chests on the way that have money in them. The sprite could be in here. Okay, there's the sword. That's good too, because that's a cutting weapon. And now we don't have to look for one. Okay, so we check this. Dryad seed. Okay. Alright, so we found the sword, which is a good thing. Honestly, I think we just go to Pandora Ruins here. We also have the spear as well. So let me see. Oh, the spear and the sword, actually. Okay, Dragon Con, Ice, Spears, Strength, and Thunder. Okay, good to know. Drop a save. Alright, so now we just have to find the whip. I mean, we don't necessarily need the sprite this run, honestly. But if the sprite comes with the whip, then we do need them. But technically, we don't need the sprite. But it'll be nice to have them. Okay, chances are I get slowed in here by these zombies. Okay, we are level 3. Snack. Big brother? Nope. That's little brother. Let's put on our spear here. Since the spear is thunder element. I'm surprised I didn't hit. Yeah. There we go. Alright, level 5. We get a whip orb and an axe orb. Okay. No need to check the shop. I am going to upgrade my gear eventually. For the sole purpose of not getting plastered by the mana beast at the end of the run. Okay, nothing on her. Best case scenario is, okay, there's the whip. Best case scenario is if the sprite and Sylphid are both here. Okay, there's the sprite. Okay, Wind Seed, Boom Orb, and Spear Orb. Okay, cool. Spike came with the gloves. Gloves are intelligence thunder. Whip is strength thunder. We have enter on the bow. Bow is level 2 though, so you can have that. I think it's time to forge our weapons here. Actually, we have 3 seeds. Let me think. Let me go to Kakara real fast. We're gonna outfit our characters with armor real quick. And then we're gonna go to probably Dwarf Village. Because we know that Sopha's in a town and Sopha could be there for all we know. Alright, so let's see. We'll go like this. And we have enough of tiger caps as well. So that. Okay, so Sprite is the girl as well, since he has 45 HP. Okay, so we're rocking a double Primm setup here with no Primm. These wannabes want to be Primm. Alright, we're gonna pick up 2 tiger caps, and then what I think I'll do before I go to Dwarf Village is to do a little bit of farming. Tiny bit of farming. Not too much. I might be able to get away with 2 of these actually, but screw it. We'll get tiger caps. Yeah, I probably could have got away with quilted hoods. More than likely. Matter of fact, I might as well check Mantis Ant while I'm here. Silver could be here too. But before I do that, let's go outside real fast. Because I do want to forge my weapons eventually. Okay, we got 1 chest. Nice. Trying to get my magic up a couple of levels here as well. That's level 2 for boy. Oh, goody. Alright, tower key early. Alright, so how much money do we have? We should have enough, right? Yeah, we're good. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. We'll go to Dwarf Village. There's more check density in Dwarf Village, so I might as well check there first. If Sylph's not there, we come back to Potos and then checkmate the Sand. I think that's the play here. We have the sword, we have the whip, we have Salamander, we have Lumina. So once we find Sylph, we'll be in go mode. Alright, Boom Orb. I'm gonna start forging here. Let me see. Bow's already level 2. Whip has strength. That is strength. That is intelligence. I'm gonna keep those actually. Boomerang. Okay, bow, dark ant. That's 3. And nope, keep going. Keep going. Elven bow is probably intelligence as well. Nope, that's agility. Beast agility, dryad, beast strength, stone. That's nice, but not what I'm looking for. Let's keep going. Alright. Longbow, shuriken. Okay, strength confused is nice. And bingo, that's what I want. Alright, Luna strength. That's all I wanted. Because in the event we don't find Luna, and chances are we won't at this point, we do have Luna damage on a weapon. Alright, so matter of fact, I think I'll just give the boomerang to you, and you can keep the bow for all I care. Alright, nothing there. You check Tropicala. Ooh. Mr. Jabberwocky, I feel so sorry for you. You should not have shown your face, or faces. Okay, level 6. Another boom orb, 800 bucks. Oh, there we go. All right, there's Sophic. We're good. I think I should buy some walnuts, and the reason why is because, well, there's actually 2 reasons. One is because we might need to use one in Grand Palace, and 2 is actually because of Dread Slime. If our weapons don't reach him, which chances are they won't, because it depends on where he moves to. But yeah, if our weapons don't reach him, then we're gonna have to cast magic on him. We'll see what happens, but Dread Slime is a fight that I'm probably gonna have to use Walnut Sun unless I play it correctly. If I can get Sprite to stay in position. And we're not going for chest at this point. We don't need to. All right, Salamander. I'm trying to level up my weapons as well. Lumina. Okay, that's Lumina as well. Okay. Sophic. And chances are I will have to use a walnut here. Unless Sprite levels up, which I don't know. Salamando. Okay, there's Undini. Sprite, are you close to a level, buddy? Yeah, you are. 26. Okay. We kill this guy. There we go. Alright, Salamando. I had to level him up so he can regain his MP. And that way I don't have to waste a walnut in here. Because more than likely I'm going to have to use walnuts on Dreadslime. Ooh, nice shot. Alright, Salamander. 6. Boy just leveled. Alright, so that's it. Oh, false kickers? Alright, we got you. Might be dead right here. Yup. Okay, so level 8 on the boy, another boat. I'm gonna forge past this because we do have 2 strength weapons. Alright, sword up, nothing. Another snake. Alright, that's fine with me. He might be dead right here. I don't know though. Nope. Oh, he went that way. He should be close though. Yeah, there we go. I think that third set of fire bouquets might have killed him. But we rolled low. Alright, so far so good. We have a level 3 salamander on both of our characters. Got good enough armor, I think. I might want to upgrade my silver band to probably Frosty Ring. Or Ivy Amulet if I can. Just for the magic defense. Let me see how much money I actually have though. Ugh, okay, never mind. No, I'm not either. Only 1900. That's unfortunate. Alright, let's just do what we can then. With that said, I mean, we have Undini, so we should be fine. I think if I spend this on walnuts, we should be okay. I don't have to upgrade my armor. Let's just go get some walnuts real quick. Because I was thinking about the Lucent Beam damage from the Mana Beast, which with Silver Band, I don't think it's too much. But then again, we have Cure Water, so I don't think it's going to be too bad. Alright, we flame you out. Now, we don't have Luna, unfortunately, but we should be okay without her. Alright, I want to equip the sword here. Not trigger the dang exploder. I think Dread Slime's going to be a bit tricky to deal with. We'll see what happens though. Because my strongest weapons are ranged. Alright, let me see if I can despawn the Whimper down here. Oh, come here, Sprite. Okay, we should be okay. There we go. Yeah, the reason why I did that was to despawn the Whimper that spawns right here, so he doesn't cast Sleep Flower. Because usually what the Whimper does is cast Wall first, and then sometimes it'll get cheeky and cast Sleep Flower, and we don't want that mess happening. Oh, is this even randomized? Come on, game. I'm actually gonna do this. Nice. I mean, this isn't entirely a magic a weapon focused seed. There are parts of this seed where you do want to use magic, which such as right here. And probably the next fight too. Alright, 1600 bucks. We don't care about that. Do I got full MP? Yeah. Okay. Alright, so let me see. I want a position right here. Come here, Spirit. I want you right here. Oh, he has no MP though. Okay, I guess we're doing this then. 140. Sprite moved. I didn't want you to move, buddy. Got him. There we go. Let me swap to the sword here. That's what we wanted. We wanted to manipulate the slime so he moves towards. I wanted him to move toward the boy, honestly, but he started moving toward the spike. But we wanted to get him close enough so we can whack him with the boomerang. Because what happens in this arena is, and I'm sure you guys have seen it many times, but what happens in this arena, in this particular arena, is eventually you'll get stuck in place. And if you're running a seed where you don't have access to shade magic or magic in general, then you're going to have to melee him, obviously. But if you're using ranged weapons, you're going to have to get next to him, obviously, or line up with him. And if you can't move, then obviously you can't line up with him. And if your characters get positioned in such a way that they can't hit the slime at all, and you don't have walnuts or you don't have magic, then that's a reset. You literally can't do anything about it. So that's why I wanted to make sure I position myself in a way so... Would you get out of the way? Position myself in a way so I could actually hit him. Alright, Kettle Can. Oh, we don't have 12 MP, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, Dread Slime is tricky to deal with when you don't have magic. Or when you don't have access to shade magic, which he's weak to. Because Dread Slime doesn't take much damage from magic unless it's at a decent level. Alright, Mana Beast, let's see. I think what we can do here is just throw a bunch of these out right now. Get some damage on them. Ugh. Alright, so we did about 400 damage there, which ain't terrible. Okay, so now what we want to do here is we want to set this to 5 for you. Yeah, I could walnut, but nah. His attack power is down, so this shouldn't do me anything. Yeah. Now let's start charging. And hopefully Sprite stays in the middle here, which he probably won't. Nice. He walls. Nice. Did that arrow hit him? It did. Okay. That was unfortunate that he targeted the Sprite with that loosened beam there. He's almost dead though. It should take 2 cycles of this. but that's fine. His fire bouquet wore off there. He should be dead right here, actually. I think. Yep, there we go. All right, GG. Yeah, I figured my armor was good enough to actually, you know, not have his damage be a concern. All right, so 52-28 is our time for this seed. Not too bad, actually. This is pretty much a straightforward seed. I don't think this is a jet seed, because jet seeds are like, what, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 40 minutes. But it's a quick enough seed so that it doesn't, you know, it doesn't last too long, and you don't have to do a bunch of checks. So basically, the hints were strong enough so that they immediately tell you what's going on. Such as the hint where three elementals were required for Grand Palace. That immediately tells you, hey, 9 out of 10 is a spriteless seed. So that means we need to find Sylphid, we need to find Salamando, we need to find Lumina to complete the seed, as well as, you know, a sword or an axe or a whip and a whip. And we also got a hint about Salamando being in Northtown Ruins. That was good. We got a hint about Sylphid being in a town. That was good too. Lumina we found behind the Moonseed pedestal, which the Moonseed was, I believe the Moonseed was free. And Salamando was free. So you go and check Moon Palace. If you do your freebies, you end up with Salamando and the Moonseed. So you check Moon Palace and then you end up with Lumina. This is a seed where I feel that checking elemental orbs is a good thing, because then you'll have the information. Oh, I need Salamando to get in Moon Palace, but I know where Salamando is. So if I find a Moonseed, which you will, if I find a Moonseed, I can go check that as part of my freebies, and that's what we did. We also got a hint about the other character being the sprite. So that tells you, oh, okay, so there's no girl in the seed. And the other hint that told you that 3 elementals were required should signal that, oh, there's a good chance that the other character, the sprite in this case, there's a good chance that the sprite is either going to have girl magic or it's going to have the boys role. So there was no sprite role in the seed. Yeah, so hints are powerful, folks. Use them. Hints are very powerful. Not because of the hints that they tell you, but hints can, you know, they can tell you other things in the process. And this was a good seed where hints will tell you more than one thing at a time. So yeah, this is a seed where you do your freebies, and then you also, you know, follow your hints. Go chase down Sylphid and Salamando. You'll find, you know, if you find the Moonseed and Salamando, you'll have access to Lumina as well. And this is also a seed where money is quite plentiful due to the gold drop multiplier being 200. Chests will be dropping gold in increments of 255 per enemy level. So that gives you plenty of money to, you know, get armor, to forge weapons, to get walnuts, to get items and whatnot. And I feel as though this is a seed where you do want to forge weapons because, one, we don't have access to sprite magic. That means no shade, no evil gate on mana beast. 2, we don't have all 3 characters, which means no access to mana magic, so how else are we to kill the mana beast? Well, you can take the Fire Bouquet route or Lucent Beam, either one, but I feel as though I don't think that's a good play because 1, it's too much MP, and 2, we didn't find enough seeds to make it worth it. So what's the other method? Go and forge your weapons. We found a ton of bow orbs this seed, a ton of them. So I feel as though the bow at the very least should be upgraded just to see what you can find, what you can get out of them. If you find like a strength weapon, a lunar weapon, or both. We did find a lunar strength weapon on the level 4 boomerang, I believe, so that's why we stuck with that. And the reason why I gave the bow to the sprite was because, well, the bow was my next best weapon, might as well. Fire Bouquet isn't going to be doing a lot. Even at level 3, level 4, it wasn't doing a lot, so that's why we have to rely on weapons this seed. But other than that, pretty straightforward seed. Half of these required items are on your freebies. We found Salamander for free. We found Sylphid. Sylphid was on Tropicalo, actually, so that wasn't free. Lumina was practically free. The sword was free as well. Once we found Lumina, we have access to the sword. So the sword is actually free too. The whip, I believe the sprite came with the whip, or no, the whip was in the treasury. The sprite actually came with the gloves, so the whip was free too. So half of these required items were free. The only things that weren't free was Sylphid, and I think that's it. I think only Sylphid wasn't free. Yeah, I think Sylphid was the only thing that wasn't free this seed, because we had to kill the boss for that. Yeah, so like I said, pretty straightforward seed. It's not, I don't see runners having too much trouble with this seed. And the seed pretty much hands you everything on a silver platter. Hard complexity, allowed locked items didn't really get to rear their ugly heads this seed. We did get a hint saying that the light seed was locked out of the seed, but that didn't matter since we never had to deal with that. So hard complexity, again, sometimes it can be mean. It wasn't mean this seed, but sometimes it can be mean. So yeah, they didn't have any sort of impact on this seed whatsoever. Vanilla shops is always nice because that way you know what's being sold where. You don't have to go looking for armor. Vanilla enemies is whatever, you know. Luna, we don't know where she was, but I feel as though this is a seed where you don't need Luna, especially if you end up forging your weapons up to a certain point. You really don't need Luna. I mean, Luna's nice to have, yeah, but it's not necessary to have. Not to mention, we don't know where she is. So, and seeing as it is hard complexity, Luna could be in a stupid spot. So I don't think Luna is worth chasing this seed. Gnome, we've got speed up disabled, so there's no point. There's no point getting Gnome if 1, we don't have sprite magic, and 2, speed up improvements are disabled. There's really no point getting Gnome. No point at all. Yeah, so like I said, not too bad of a seed. I don't see runners having much trouble with this one at all. All right, anyway, 5228 is our time for this seed of the week. It is Monday as I'm recording this seed. You guys want to see this until Friday. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put in my time right now. All right, so 5228. All right. All right, so we are in first place so far. We have, let me see, we got second with a 116.28 and third with a 122.58 so far. Let's see. Thank goodness for strength bonus. Yeah, that's that's one of the reasons why I decided to force my weapons is to look for something like that. A lunar weapon with strength. Definitely helps against Mana Beast. Definitely, especially when you don't have Luna. Let's see. For me, it was the longest Mana Beast fight ever. No Luna weapon, just pure level 2 spear attacks. Was definitely. Oh wow. Oh, so they went level 2 spear. I wonder what was on that. I never forced the spear. The spear already has strength on it, but I think at a certain point at level 1 weapons against Mana Beast aren't gonna do much. So especially when Mana Beast ends up at like level 20 plus or 30 plus, then level 1 weapons aren't gonna do too much. So you definitely want to forge to, at the minimum, you want to forge to level 2, but sometimes even level 2 isn't enough. Yeah, so that's I just really kind of took advantage of all those bow orbs, all those boomerang orbs we found. We didn't find many orbs for the other weapons, I don't think. Let me see. We found 3 for the glove. We found 1 for the sword, 1 for the spear. We found 4 for the axe, which we never found the axe. And 3 for the javelin, which we never found that either. We got a hint for the javelin though, but we never found it. And then we had 1 for the whip. So I mainly just wanted to forge because I'm sitting on like 5 bow orbs, and money is not hard to come by in the seed. So I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't force the bow here, but I mean, it is what it is. And I also decided to force the boomerang because, again, I had a bunch of boomerang orbs, so why not? And yeah, one of them was Luna and Strength, which was pretty nice. And then the level 5 bow, I believe, was Strength and like Confuse or something. It didn't have Luna element on it, but that's good enough anyway. And also, and it's rare that I do this, but it's also nice to actually set the computer control character to charge his weapon on that fight, because usually they'll just, sit around and swing and they do no damage. So we needed damage in that Mana Beast fight. So I felt as though I needed a little bit of help. I don't have Luna, I don't have Gnome, I don't have Shade, I don't have Mana Magic, obviously. So I needed all the help I could get from. I needed all the damage I could get from my other characters. So that's why I decided to charge, set the act grid to charge for the sprite to level 5. I could have set it to 4, but I mean, it's sprite, so might as well just set it to 5 and have him at least help out with doing damage. So yeah. Anywho, 52:28 is our time for this seed of the week. I will see y'all next time.